What's up, fragrance connoisseurs? I am here with a full review of Attraction Fatale. Let's get that in focus. So, this is a shout out to the Fresh Prince of the Trenches. He was in our community tab with the scent of the days that I put in. And he put this up a couple times as his scent of the day and said I should get my nose on it. So a little late to the party, but I did get my nose on it now and wanted to give it a full review. So, of course, it is Attraction Fatale by Curly Fragrance, and we'll go through a full review. I'm going to go through what it smells like, if I think it's designer and niche, talk about the price, talk about how I got it, talk about the quality, go through the notes, and give you an overall rating. So if you want to know about Attraction Fatale, sit back, stay tuned, listen to station identification, and we'll be right back. All right, fragrance connoisseurs, we're back. And again, we are back with Attraction Fatale from Curly Fragrance. And her title or the name of her company is Reisinger Parfums. I believe she said that Reisinger basically goes into the mode of being sort of like a gypsy and was part of her heritage and how she came up. And that's how she came with the name. Of course, Curly Fragrance is not new to the perfume or fragrance community. Everybody knows of Michelle, and she is quite polarizing in some things. She definitely brought sexiness into the fragrance game. One of the things that, why she exploded. So I know that she is well over 350,000 subscribers, and I guess at this point, she decided to take it to a new level and to start her own perfume. So, this is of course her first fragrance that she's put out, and she went the route of getting a master perfumer, Chris Carbonell. Now, Chris Carbonell is not new to the fragrance game. He has 136 perfumes in the database, and the notable ones are Fragrance de Bois, Velvet Amber, Kajal. He did Homme 2, Warwick, and Alajan. Mask Milano, he did Mandala and Mandala Oud. Zoologist, he did Camel and Panda Edition 2017. And then probably one of his most famous ones is from Suspiro/Gerjoff, where he did Accento Overdose, and Herba Pure. So it is not that she did this half-heartedly or just jumped into the game and just put something out there just to say that she sold something in her name. She actually got a well-known and I guess a person, a master perfumer that's in the game and is known for doing some great niche fragrances. Fragrantica has hit her very hard. I remember when I first saw it and I was going to look to buy it, I went on Fragrantica when it first came on, and Fragrantica gave her a 2.5. And unfortunately, it wasn't even because of some people that actually had the fragrance. A lot of times, if you have a Fragrantica subscription or membership, you can put in a rating, and that rating is not a verified rating of whether you have the fragrance or not. Right now, the last that I saw, her rating for the fragrance is a 3.18. Ouch. So again, many have reviewed it without even smelling the fragrance, so I wanted to give you my take. So first, we'll start and talk about the presentation and what happened. I ordered it, and the price, of course, retail or whatever you get on the website is $249.95. when I looked to buy it, they had an automatic discount of $14.95. And then I got a well-known discount from one of the fragrance influencers, just so happened to be Curly. She sent an email, or it wasn't even an email. It came out in the community tab, and she said that she was giving $35 off for anyone that bought her fragrance at that time. Now I'm looking at $200 instead of $250, and I thought this would be the right time to pull the trigger. So I got on her website and pulled the trigger and bought Attraction Fatale. And the first thing that happened after I bought it was I received an order confirmation in my email. What a confirmation. It was Curly telling me, as you can see on the screen, that she's getting it ready for me. Curly, what are you getting ready for me? I'm a married man. I felt like maybe I got a free subscription to an OnlyFans at the same time, but hey, it's all good. Worth the price of admission, I guess. And that was just an extra special bonus that comes along with the fragrance. So we get into the box, and it is basically, here it is, Attraction Fatale. And it has just the logo on the bottom, nothing on the sides. The back has some more information with the barcode. No sticker of authenticity, I guess, because this is not a clone house. But it also has the ingredients and some caution things. It opens up like this, and then there is a felt insert inside, but it's cloth with some satiny material where the bottle fits in like this. So that is the box. The bottle, it is, here it goes. Want to see if you can get an up close. Now I did see a lot of people who talked about that there are some blemishes, and I don't know if that was originally in the bottle or if that was when they put on the front facing that has the name and the company name on it. But there are some blemishes on it. You can't wipe it off, so it's not blemishes that happen just from scraping up against the box. The blemishes probably happened when they were etching in the front facing of the logo and things like that, I would assume. However, that is not the main thing that we want to talk about. We want to talk about the juice. And what I will do is give you a view of the atomizer so you can see it. Hopefully it'll be in a way that you can see it. Not a bad atomizer. Pretty nice, actually. It feels slightly pressurized, not at the level I would say of a Fragrance de Bois or a Roja, but it is a pressurized atomizer. And from the first part of it, just this opening and my initial impressions, now I have worn this for several days. So this isn't a out of the box first impressions. I usually like, before I do a review, because I want to be fair to the actual fragrance and the fragrance house. So I wear it for a few days, and I've had this for over a week, and I have worn it for a few days to experience it as it goes through the initial opening, the mid, and the dry down. And I guess some of the first things that you want to talk about is, does this smell like niche? Because it is retail for $250. To me, this is a entry-level, mass-appealing niche fragrance. It doesn't smell cheap. It doesn't smell synthetic. This is a fragrance that I would put in the same line as a mass-appealing Parfums de Marly or something like that. I believe that it is a fragrance that has good materials and that it is entry-level niche. That's all I can say about it. And I'm not exactly sure if you had a first fragrance, why you would want to put something that's not mass appealing. You'd want something that would come out and be accepted by the masses, I would say. That's the only way I could talk about mass appealing. Is it worth $250? In my opinion, niche fragrances, even entry-level niche, Parfums de Mali is gonna go for retail somewhere between $300 and $380, in a sense, depending on what it is, maybe even closer to $400 if it has oud or civet or some of the other materials in it. I would say that this is not out of line with the normal niche fragrances that are around today. So I think $250 and maybe $250 overall for the industry might be something that you would think of as too high, but as far as being right in line with other niche type fragrances and not being on discounters, this is retail right about where it is. So we go into the notes, and the note breakdown comes in with the top. It is rum, mandarin, and neroli. In the mid is jasmine, rose, black pepper, and nutmeg. And in the base, it is vanilla, amber, cedar, sandalwood, and musk. Now, when you spray it, the rum pops out, and the black pepper, even though that's in the mid, it pops out immediately. You can smell the mandarin, but it's way in the background, playing hide and seek. And the neroli, I don't know if maybe that is blended well. I don't really pick it up as much. Usually neroli gives me like that soapy clean type of smell, and I really don't get that. As it starts to dry down, you can see the florals, and you will start to pick up the florals, but the jasmine and the rose don't play center stage. It's the black pepper, the nutmeg starts to come out, and the rum. It is a boozy fragrance, and you get the rum basically all the way through. And what I found is that in the dry down, you start to get a lot of that sweetness and creaminess. It actually becomes very creamy. The sandalwood is a really creamy, almost lactonic type vibe when it gets deep in the dry down, and the vanilla and the amber really shine in. And you get a little bit of the musk, but that's something that also plays in the background. So I want to go into now and start to get into some of the things that it talks about. Is it a Spice Bomb Extreme clone? The short answer is no. So both of them are amber spicy fragrances, and I have Spice Bomb Extreme. I did spray it, and I put it side by side since people were saying that. It's in a amber spicy, what I would call a Middle Eastern style. However, Spice Bomb Extreme is very tobacco heavy. You get the tobacco all the way through, and that is something that you do not get in Attraction Fatale. It is not a Spice Bomb Extreme clone. Spice Bomb also has the saffron and the cumin, and it's very heavy on spices. This is spicy, but more the rum kind of cuts that down, so it is not as spicy as I would say a Spice Bomb Extreme is, or even a Pegasus, which I also think is in that neighborhood, but none of them smell the same. So this is not a Spice Bomb Extreme clone at all. To me, it's in the neighborhood of a rum-infused, slightly less spicy Pegasus. If you like Pegasus, I think you would like this. If you like Spice Bomb Extreme, of course, I think you would like this. But it is different enough that it wouldn't be redundant. The next thing is, was it beast mode? So I know everybody, and if we know Curly, Curly is known for wanting beast mode fragrances. Now, this is a new, I guess basic, it's a newer fragrance from her. I don't know how long it macerated. I don't know how long it sat or matured. So when it came to me, it basically lasted somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 to 8 hours. I wouldn't necessarily call that beast mode. However, if you spray like Curly, as you will see, then it will last until next year. But off the rip, it didn't seem like an overly beast mode fragrance, what we would call beast mode, and I call beast mode 10 plus hours, and good projection for at least the first 2 to 3 hours. That would be at least arm's length, which is 3 to 4 feet. I wouldn't say it's beast mode right now. I will let it macerate and come back to it, but it's a decent 7 to 8 hours, and the projection is very good. And for the first 2 hours, it does not get to 5 or 6 feet at this point. But again, if you look at it, I have used quite a bit. I don't know if you can see it in the picture if it goes up. So I've used quite a bit. I'm gonna let it macerate, let the air is already inside of it, see how it works, and I'll come back to it, and probably sometime later when I'm doing maybe another video that will have Attraction Fatale in it, I'll tell you how it works and how it lasts. The last thing I will talk about is an overall rating. To me, I give this a solid 8. I think it's a great fragrance. Would it make my keep 10 for life list? Maybe not right at this moment. I'll see how it goes as far as when it macerates and how it works. If it is beast mode, like I would expect Curly fragrances to be, I would say it would be a great pick. I think it's solid. Whatever the hate is and why she's getting the hate on it, it is what it is. But I think it's a great fragrance. You may want to try it out. I know right now, I don't know any place where you can get a decan of it. There's some people that may be doing decants that are smaller, but I don't see it on Scent Split or anything like that, Decant Boutique or Decant X. So this is the only way you can do it, is the blind buy. And of course, I am the blind buy bandit. So there you have it, my takes of Attraction Fatale. Decent fragrance. Don't know why she's getting so much hate, but hey, I guess it is what it is. I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care. God bless.